Yeah, we're just reading and chatting. Yeah, that's fine. As long as it's not derogatory, I don't care. You can pour some out too for the dead homie. Okay. That the man who played such an important part in starting and expanding the war, a political appointee with no combat experience, should also become the hero of its decisive battle seems more fictional than factual. But an aura of, wait, that really happened, engulfed much of Theodore Roosevelt's life. After all, this was a man who was in turn a Harvard student, cowboy, policeman, war hero, and president, as well as an African explorer. Virtually, the entire list of... Oh my God, why is it doing this? Sorry, y'all, hold on. Hate you, TikTok. Okay. Yeah, listen to this little pussy bitch. Y'all ready? Let's roast him. Let's roast him some more. Somebody in the comments said drag him. Yeah, so after all, this is a man who was in turn a Harvard student, cowboy, policeman, war hero, and president, as well as an African explorer. Yeah, sure, buddy. Virtually the entire list of boyhood fantasies minus astronaut. Later in life, as he was about to speak at a campaign event, Roosevelt got shot in the chest at close range and then proceeded to give his intended speech for an hour as blood ran from his body. Like, this is the type of dude he was. So the battle for the San Juan Heights, it began simply enough. Spain held the hills outside Santiago. The United States wanted them. The Rough Riders stood fifth in line behind 4 other regiments to take Kettle Hill. Meanwhile, another division was charged with capturing the more important San Juan Hill half a mile away. Wait, why did they tell us this now? Yeah, okay, cool. This loser bitch, Roosevelt. Oh my God, I'm like shot in the chest, but like what I have to say as a cosplayer, policeman, and Indian killer, and like I'm this big Rough Rider guy. It just dies. I'm gonna be so mad if I don't get to time travel in this lifetime. Like, I would love to go back in history and just be a bystander and just see how these people actually carried. Like, I would just be so curious. Like, Roosevelt bristled at his placement at the back and requested repeatedly to enter the fray. He finally got permission to support the regulars in the assault. That was all he needed. The instant I received the order, I sprang on my horse, and then my crowded hour began. The horse was important. A transportation logjam en route to Cuba had forced the enlisted Rough Riders to leave their mounts back home. So Roosevelt, as an officer, was one of the few with the horse. So listen to this. This is funny. That made him faster, but also a target. Undaunted, he rode to the front of the line, ordering his men to follow on foot. The novelist Stephen Crane, watching from a distance, saw only a thin line of black figures moving across a field. From Roosevelt's perspective, the dash up Kettle Hill was more dramatic. He lustily galloped up and down the line, passing the shouting, cheering, firing men. A bullet grazed his elbow as the Rough Riders took the hill. He could have stopped there with a wound and a story to tell, but he looked over to San Juan Hill, where a U.S. division had engaged the Spanish, and he judged that he could take that on too. We are reading How to Hide an Empire I just think I want to eventually heat up and talk about unnecessary political violence, but how can we do that if we don't even know how empire came about? You know, one of the biggest problems is because we were under this white supremacy, polite fucking society that we're all so docile, and we should actually have a healthy relationship with our anger and violence, though it is the only way that we will ever take our power back. But if you don't know, you know, I can't, you're not gonna be rightfully angry if you don't know. So we're going back to the drawing board. We're starting from the beginning, you know, and eventually I would like to, without being weird about it, it will sound weird if you don't read history. Like this whole Charlie Kirk thing and violence, you know, like I was saying earlier, I have people that have different politics and ideologies, whatever, than me. They stayed through all the communist propaganda. They stayed through Black Lives Matter, vegan, all this stuff. But my stance on Charlie Kirk, that's what caused you to break off. Like, so anyways, for me, from my perspective, in my opinion, the way I am seeing things right now is like we need a serious course on the history of political violence in this country. Because I feel like, yes, I do realize there was a lot of people that this, you know, woke them up, radicalized them, whatever. But a lot of people still 10 toes down. That man was a Christian. He did not spew hateful or violent. Like, yes, he did. Matter of fact, let's get into all the books and all the shit that this loser was reading. Like, okay, let me get back into it. Could have stopped there. Bullets. Looking back to see no one following, Roosevelt ran back to Kettle Hill, still under fire, hopped back over the fence, and berated his troops. Now, with his men finally behind him, he crossed the fence a third time, crested the hill, and killed a Spaniard with his main salvaged revolver. Right after that, the Spaniards subdued. Roosevelt and the Rough Riders repeated their charge for the benefit of a film crew, the first documentary battle footage ever shot. After San Juan Heights, things fell swiftly into place. U.S. troops laid siege to Santiago de Cuba, and U.S. ships defeated the Spanish fleet outside the city. The Spanish surrendered the city within the month. In Puerto Rico, too, the Spanish resistance collapsed quickly. The ground campaign lasted 17 days and cost only 7 U.S. lives. In Manila, the Spanish fought an honor-preserving mock battle, which they put up a token fight before surrendering. It was a complete rout. The empire had once dominated the Americas had been defeated entirely in less than 4 months. Quote, a